RVR IPTV Channel 3, Wired Technology Channel 13, ICNTT Channel 89, and Trico in Tobago on Channel 112. Thank you for supporting Sankhya Television and viewing Sankhya TV, the first Hindu TV station in Trinidad and Tobago, and your number one choice for cultural, inspirational, and spiritual programming. On Guyana Airlink Channel 13, as well as E-Networks Channel 8. Thank you for supporting Sankhya Television and watching Sankhya TV, the first Hindu TV station in Trinidad and Tobago, and your number one choice both locally and internationally for inspirational, cultural, and spiritual programming. Sankhya Television, the first Hindu TV station in Trinidad and Tobago, and your number one choice for cultural, inspirational, and spiritual programming, is not only available locally in Trinidad and Tobago, but also internationally via the Sankhya TV website. International viewers can visit sankhyatv.com and view our live stream 24/7. Viewers in Belize can view Sankhya Television on Belize Central TV Internet Cable Network Channel 250. Viewers in Guyana can view Sankhya Television on Guyana Airlink Channel 13, as well as E-Networks Channel 8. Thank you for supporting Sankhya Television and watching Sankhya TV, the first Hindu TV station. Good day and welcome to Sankhya Television. I sit here once again with Mr. Lalchan Rampersad, and we continue on the great work he is doing on his The Great Bible Fraud series, where today's topic is the creation analysis. So once again, Mr. Rampersad, thank you for sharing your research with us.
Okay, thanks for having me. Okay. Well, I'll begin right away. Part 1, Creation Analysis. Hello everyone, my name is Lalchan Rampersad. I'm here to present a research on creation analysis. But first, I would like to thank authorities of Sankhya Television for permitting me to present this research, creation analysis. This research is based on science of forms. You are collecting forms to identify objects, humans, or parts of universe. In each verse, you are guided by forms, but forms are nothing without a name. So I am collecting parts identified with names to construct universe. This is the universe here. All right? You have to find names for parts described by forms. Right? In past video, I presented a research on invisible God, and I found invisible God identified as inches, meters, and spirits. This is the invisible God here. All right? This research is to analyze how creation evolved and what was creation as presented in Bible and Ramcharita I want to make an appeal to Christians and Hindus who get their teachings from pastors and pundits. I must declare to you that both pastors and pundits have no knowledge of scriptures. I want you to read scriptures on your own. Dump pastors and pundits. I will state it again, dumb pastors and pundits. I will present to you some points of how to understand scriptures. You are judges. Prove me wrong. Forms, entity. Entity definition. An entity is an organization of forms that has an identity, a name, and that which is separate from its members, partners, or forms who are appointed to create an entity. Forms are groups of words, names, letters, which are assembled together to create an entity. First step of creation was creation of an entity with name universe, first birth. This is chart number 60, and this is the entity universe I'm talking about, right? So the first step in understanding universe is our first birth, right? To construct 16 numbers to represent universe, this is 16 numbers to represent universe, is called first sacrifice. To construct 16 letters here, this is 16 letters here. To construct 16 letters as an entity to replace entity universe, this is first death, right? Now, foundation of universe was built on forms. Universe is womb, an entity. I've stated it here. All right? Universe is comprised of many parts. Understand that forms are nouns, pronouns, and adjectives of each verse. You have to collect total forms, then search out parts related to forms, and must be identified with names. Scriptures were built on cornerstone. Forms were identified with name stones. Keystone rejected by everyone were forms. Name, entity, member. From page 18 to page 24, 40 verses are presented on topic with detailed analysis. Here, this is on entity. Note, this analysis on entity was stolen by Christian goons from Ramcharita Manasa, claimed by Christians as creators, presented to Hindus, and Hindus sleeping. And pundits sleeping. They have no knowledge how subject of entity. With 40 verses presented and no mention of this subject by any pundit means that they do not have any knowledge on entity. I will present a couple of verses. If you go to this book, there, page 20, verse 2 states, name of entity were created from forms. Page 22, verse 3, name entity, Lord, is an organization of many members, and that which is manifest. They always keep using this word manifest. I do not know if they understand what the meaning is. But in this context, it means separate from its members or partners who were appointed to create an entity. Name of entity, Lord, is greater than Lord as a member. Page 24, verse 3, name entity, Rama. Book recounts story of member Rama's virtues, goodness. Book entity Rama, I record events of member Rama. So you have to understand how it has been constructed. Creation of God. Now we want to know how this God was created. Everybody talking about God, and he did this and he did that, and he's up there. We want to know how he was created. Most believers in this world are believers in God, a supernatural being. I continue to repeat that belief is a comfort for a fool, and believers are fools. What is amazing? That no one has ever attempted to research origin of God. In this research, I am constructing God from Bible and Ramcharita Manasa. From India, a group of Hindus were appointed into an entity named Rama. This is an entity here, Rama, to construct an entity named God, right? Now, entity Trigunas Prakti, page 135, verse 3, that is from this book. Entity Rama was divided into three modes. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, named entity Prakti. Page 7, that is it here on this thing here. Page 796, verse 3, verse states that entity Rama were humans and were appointed to construct entity God. So this is what we construct in. The universe as God. Entity Rama constructed entity God with name, universe. So I want to repeat that again. Entity Rama constructed entity God with name, universe. So universe is the God. Right? Universe equals 7 parts and 16 forms. 7 parts, and 16 forms. Name universe is first resurrection of God or birth of entity God. 16 numbers. When they present the 16 numbers, this is first crucifixion of God. Page 796, verse 7, 16 forms, 16 spirits. This is, 16 forms, 16 spirits. Verse states infinite numbers, 16 numbers, 1,000 trillion ashes or millimeters. This is first crucifixion, or what we would call construction of God. 16 letters, page 796, verse 4, 16 forms, verse states spell of word. So one time we get the name word. This in the Bible it states the word. This is Ramcharita Manasa. Word is Ramcharita Manasa. This is first that complete construction of God named universe from Ramcharita Manasa. That's from this book. Now we must look at construction of God from Bible. Creation, God, entity, universe. Now this is from the Bible here. So I will I'll bring it across. So the same pattern here. What or or what, who or what was God? Or what is God? Where did he come from? Now Genesis 1:1 said, in the beginning God created the universe. That is the same thing here I'm talking about. Now, verse should read as follows. In the beginning Ram created an entity with forms named the universe. That is how that verse should read. Now Genesis 1:1 and to 1:2 is 16 forms. Now if you go to Deuteronomy 27:5, I will read it. And you shall build there an altar to Jehovah your God, an altar of stones. You shall not use an iron tool upon them. Verse states that you must build God. This is the universe here, God. An altar, that is also altar. An entity is also an entity of stones. 16 stones, 16 forms are 16 stones. So you're building from forms, you're building God from forms. Deuteronomy 27:6, with unhewn stones you shall build the altar of Jehovah your God. Then you shall offer up burnt offerings upon it to Jehovah your God. 16 forms, you must build an entity named God. This is the entity named God. From 16 forms, 16 stones. Stones are forms. Verses state that name altar was chosen to build an entity with name God. This was creation of God. Dumb Gadaha believers have no knowledge that in 1st century, Hindus created a God for Christians, made of stones, made of forms. Try to understand that. This is Hindus that wrote this Bible, and they are telling to the Christians that they built a God from stones, meaning forms, for them. Okay? 1 Kings 18:32, and with the stones he built an altar in the name of Jehovah, and he made a trench around the altar with a capacity of 2 measures of seed. 16 forms, 16 stones of altar. That is what it is here. That is universe, that is entity of God. And 1 Kings 18:33, and he arranged the wood and cut the bull in pieces and laid it on the wood. And he said, fill 4 jars with water and pour the water on the burnt offering and on the wood. So they're using stones and wood, and these are forms to build God. So God is built on stones and wood or forms. Deuteronomy 28:36, Jehovah will bring you and your king, whom you will have set over you, to a nation which you and your fathers have not known, and there you will serve other gods, mere wood and stone. 16 form, there's your God. This is what the verse is saying, there's your God, a God of wood and stone. This is a God for the Christians, built by the Hindus, for the Christians. Try to understand that. This is what is going on here. So, Deuteronomy 4:28, there you shall worship man-made gods of wood and stone, which cannot see or hear or eat or smell. So the Hindus of the 1st century built this God for the Christians. This is what it is saying. Part 2, chart number 60. All right, we'll go back to chart number 60. Universe, Ramcharita Manasa, 16 forms. 2 verses are presented with universe. This is from the Ramcharita Manasa. Page 7 verse 5, page 8 verse 7. Both are comprised of 16 forms. This is 1 and 15 zeros. 1 and 15 zeros equals 1,000 trillion. 16 numbers equals to Ramcharita Manasa. Universe equals 16 letters. So there where you have the God that we are constructing. Or the book is constructing. Now we're going to show how the 5 parts of this universe are. If you go to page 8, verse 4, verse presents 5 parts of universe. Now it's talk of smoke, water, fire, air, and earth. Now smoke is distance. That is D there. Water is time. Fire is pi. Air is speed. And earth volume is universe. So it tells you one time, it presents 5 parts of the universe. That is God, right? Now, when you go to page 31, verse 7, it presents 16 forms, 16 letters. Verse states Ram added 7 books. The 7 books here are the 7 sages what we call 7 manuscripts to formulas, 16 forms. Page 30, verse 5, Ram. This is Ram here. Universe equals pi, distance, time, speed by 7. This completes creation of entity with name universe. 7 parts, 7 members. 2 entities, creation, arc. So from the universe now, we are starting to come down here and explain how this come about, right? Now from creation of universe and name Ramcharita Manasa, 2 entities were constructed. The 2 entities are here, 1 entity and 2 entity. Now 3 gunas, 3 gunas here, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and 7 manuscripts are 7 sages. So these are the 2 entities there. Both were constructed into 1 entity identified as ark or boat. So that is the ark that they have. Noah's ark, that is the ark. 3 gunas are appointed. Hindu members of entity 3 gunas, right, were appointed to collect manuscripts from Hindu members of each of 7 sages. Chart number 60. Each Hindu of 7 sages, 7 sages entity have in their possession 7 manuscripts, 7 parts of universe. Now I explained that the last time. I don't know if you grasp that, because what they have here, these are live people of this member 3 gunas, and they are collecting manuscripts from each sage, and each sage has 7 manuscripts of the universe. So you will get there now 49 manuscripts. 3 gunas must collect 7 manuscripts from each of 7 sages. Each of 7 sages are with 7 manuscripts of 7 parts of universe equals 49 manuscripts. So they are collecting from each sage 7 manuscripts. That is what if you did not grasp it the last time, try to understand it from this way, right? 3 classifications of 3 gunas are comprised of an entity with 16 letters. So now we will show how with name Ramcharita Manasa. So each member distribute their names into 3 other words, and these 3 words must be equal to 16 letters, and so that is what is coming down. So by changing the names, and you must get the 16 letters, you are really coming down with the universe. Okay? 3 gunas were appointed into entity Prakti with equal 16 letters with name Ramcharita Manasa. 3 gunas were Hindus and who were members of this entity. 3 gunas were divided into 3 parts of 16 letters each. This is what I'm saying here. So now, there where we can understand how this whole scriptures were constructed. These 3 gunas are live members of Hindus. This is what it is now. So they belong to this entity called the 3 gunas or Prakti. All right? Chart number 61. All right, I don't think I'll need this one in a while. Right. Chart number 61, part 3. Universe, Bible, Science of Forms. In this part, topic is on universe. Here. Right? And is referred to by many synonyms. So you can call universe is mentioned by many synonyms in this book. You got formula, world, earth, Ram's house, Ramcharita Manasa, volume, womb. All that are synonyms of universe or God. Universe is comprised of 7 parts. I will analyze each part separately to complete parts of universe from Bible. The plan is to construct universe by collecting parts. Each part must be identified with a name. So this is the universe, and it comprises of many parts. So I will explain how it has been constructed from the Bible, because I just explained the from the Ramcharitamanas. Now when you go to Genesis 1:2, Genesis 1:2 presents distance, time, and speed. Distance, time, and speed. Now you wouldn't get that word because they're talking about the spirit and the water, and time will be the three gunas here. Okay, so there's three parts of the formula. You will get it from that verse. Now you go to Genesis 1:24, presents pi. So whoever is reading Bible, they do not know what they're reading. I'm explaining to you what does it mean. Okay? You go to Genesis 1:27. It describes the 7 sages. That is 1:27. All right? So there where you have the 7 sages, and pi and the three formulas there, and this now the universe is equal to that. Okay, so that is what they take to construct, and this is what is explained in Ramcharitamanas and Bible very clear. I'm not going to read it in detail. I give you the verses so you can check it out. Now chart number 62. Right, this is chart number 62. Right. Now, timeline, Ramcharitamanas. Now, coming to the last of the last video, the last part of the video, I mentioned that the Hindus read in their book, Christians read in their book, and have no knowledge on time. And so I am presenting a detailed time study here, how to find time and the abundance of information relating to time. I don't know how they cannot find time, and it is book and it is in the Bible. So I'm going to present both of them. And in chart number 62, everyone has difficulty in understanding times as presented in both scriptures. I will explain timelines. Ramcharitamanas was constructed with 8 chapters. These divisions are 8 divisions, and you will find the 8 khandas here from this Ramcharitamanas. Okay? 8 chapters were presented with 8 divisions of timelines as shown. Each division is in sequence and in chronological order. Chapter 8, that is here now. Chapter 8. Lavakusha Khanda was presented with a separate time division of 100 years. I put it here. 11,900 to 12,000 years. And is recorded events of horse sacrifice festival. Times are stated in hours. All of these times are presented in this research here is in hours. Right? Days, well, they have days and they have years. I am presenting to you time divisions in hours. Okay. Now, chart 62 presents 8 time divisions of 14,000 years. When you check this 8 time divisions, you're going to get 14,000 years. Each time division is 3 hours each. All right. Each hour, to find each hour, you take the 14,000 years and divide it by 24 hours. You will get 583 years. That is what you will get. Okay? 1 division equal to 3 hours. Multiply by 383 years. So to find one of these divisions, any one of the divisions, you multiply by 583 years, like 3 hours by 583, you will get 1,749 years. Now each one will equal that time, but here we add in the time coming down, okay? Each division is divided into 3 parts. 1, 2, 3, so it's 3 hours. These are the pages and the verses which gives you the hour, okay? 1, birth. Each division is divided into 3 parts. Yes, each division is divided into 3 parts. And I show in the 3 divisions here too. Okay? Now, the first division the first part of any division is birth. You'll get the birth here of universe. That is 7 parts. That is what you're getting there. Then 2, the sacrifice. You have to understand that when they talk sacrifice or they talk crucifixion or they talk death, you have to understand what it means. And sacrifice or crucifixion means construction. That is something, that is why people don't understand how to read the scriptures. So we are dealing with the construction. So sacrifice, which is here, or build, is construction of 7 parts of universe into 16 numbers. 1 plus 15 zeros. Okay? Now 3 is death. Now you must have those 3 parts into each division. So death, construction of universe completed with 16 letters to represent universe. Now this is a completion of that time division. Okay, name Ramcharita Manasa, 16 letters were delivered to 8 khandas. This whole thing was delivered by this 16 letters coming down to each one of these khandas. All right, by 3, and it is delivered by 3 gunas. Right. This is journey of name with 16 letters. Note, universe, which is God, is comprised of 3 parts. Now you must understand that they talk about God is a 3-in-1 or triune. The Ramcharita make this statement that it is Triveni, that is the name. It means 3 gods in 1. Yeah. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. This is what it is here, right? So this is the 3 gods here in 1. So you have the 3 separation there. Now 1 is formula, 2 is 16 numbers, and 3 is 16 letters. Note that this God is equal to as covenant. They refer to this as the covenant. I don't have it written here. I think I have it in that one here. As covenant, and you must carry this God. In other words, everybody talking about God will deliver you or go with God with you. You have to carry this God. This is what when they tell they're transporting the 10 commandments, is like the covenant. This is, you have to keep in the ark. You have to carry this God. So people must understand that this is the creation. So I don't know where they get that creation from, where this person is invisible and is somewhere up in the sky. Part 5, Bible, chart number 64. All right, I think we're done with this here. All right, this is chart number 64. Yes. Timeline were constructed from New Testament of Bible. This is a timeline I have taken from the New Testament only, right? And it's same as chart number 62, which I just presented, from Ramcharita Manasa. Time divisions are separated into 3 hours. Same 3 hours stated in the Bible. 1 hour is 383 years, 583 years. Okay. Now, timelines of Bible. The Bible make a statement here. The times of Bible were constructed into 3 divisions. Now, if you go to Matthew 1:17, it presents 3 different versions of 14 generations. So I'm going to explain it because nobody seems to have any knowledge what they're talking about. So the first 14 generation written in Matthew 1:17 is equal to this 14,000 years. Yeah, equal to this 14,000, 0 to 14,000 years. The second part of generations is referred to 1400 years. Means that starts from 12,000, probably, yeah, maybe somewhere around here, 12,162 years to 62 CE. I don't have it written under here. Now the third part of 14 generations is equal to 14 years, 62 to 76 CE. That is when, this is what they're talking when the Bible was constructed, right? Now, if you observe on the right side here, they also have 3 days, first, second, and third day, right? And this now, this 3 days is equal to this 3 hours. Now, this is a division in time. It is not at 24 hours per day. I explained that previously, that when they're using the word days, you must be very careful in understanding when it is a division. In this case, it's division. Bible timelines are divided into 3 hours each and are further divided into 3 days. These are 3 divisions. First day is resurrection. Second day is crucifixion. And third day is death. Now, if you cannot understand how to relate it into them scriptures, you'll be tied up right through. He raised on the third day, meaning constructed on the third day. And they don't have only one third day, they have many third each division has a third day, first, second, and third day. So, and he was crucified, they have 8 crucifixions. So they have to understand that. All right. Entity construction name. Entity construction is divided into 3 parts. 1, resurrection. I will explain what it means. This is creation or birth of name Christ for universe. Yes, I put Christ here. Right? I put in the Bible, they put it as Christ now. So we're using Christ. Which is comprised of 7 parts. 2, crucifixion. This is construction of 16 numbers. This is 16 numbers to represent 7 parts of universe. Numbers are spirits. 3, death. This is complete construction of entity Christ with name Ramcharita Manasa, having 16 letters. 3 gunas divided 16 letters into 3 parts for journey. Chart number 64 presents a complete timeline of 14,000 years divided into 3 hours each, total 24 hours. So you'll get the 24 hours here, which equals to 14,000 years. So people looking for time, they can't find time. Historians cannot find time. The pundits and the pastors cannot find time. And both Bible and Ramcharita Manasa full of time. I'm only presenting hours. They have days, they have years. I presented years in previous videos, right? So they can go now. They've seen, and then this is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John is only one taken from Acts, one division. So they can go there and check you're getting the 3 hours here in each one. All right, a division of 3 hours. All right, chart number 65. All right, this is this one here. Yeah. All right, so we're dealing with chart number 65 here. All right. Now, covenant of circumcision is 16 letters. Now, I'll just read 2 verses here where people misunderstand what circumcision means. And so I'm going to explain it. And everybody circumcising their children and going according to Bible. Bible never said to remove the foreskin. So let's see what we say in here. So in this context, Abraham equals to the 3 gunas. These 3 gunas is Abraham. It's them as they are traveling. And God said to Abraham, meaning the entity or the member Ram that is constructing this. He is talking to this 3 gunas, meaning the Hindus that went to do these constructions. And God said to Abraham, and as for you, you shall keep my covenant. Oh, I didn't put covenant here. All right. Okay. You and your seed after you throughout their generations. What is telling you that 16 letters? 16 letters here. This is 16 letters, 16 forms. Abraham, 16 letters must be carried through 8 generations, 8 timelines. It is telling you that this 16 letters must be carried through this 8 generations. 8 generations, 8 divisions of 14,000 years. That is what it means, right? They're looking at generation, the ancestor generation. This is referring to the divisions of time. Genesis 17:12, and he who is 8 days old, just remember this again, days come up here. They have it written 8 days here in Ramcharita Manasa too, you know. Nobody seems to understand. 8 days is 8 divisions, and it's written here clear again, right? And he who is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every male throughout your generation. He who is born in the house or bought with money from any foreigner who is not of your seed. 8 days, meaning 8 divisions of 14,000 years. All right, right? Equal to 1,750 years each. All male children, who do you think they're talking about? All 16 letters. from Ramcharita Manasa. 16 forms. Must be circumcised, mean crucified, constructed into each of 8 generations. So this Ramcharita Manasa must be constructed in each of this division. That is what it is saying, right? 8-time division. So these people who get fooled and cannot read Bible and cannot read Ramcharita Manasa, having the children circumcised like a fool. Yeah, God said so. They're talking about divisions here. You talking about something else. Try to understand how to read this book. Part 6. All right. So we're going to part 6 here. And I have to kind of blow up that a little bit. Now, ruler, cross, Jesus. Every time I never explain what cross is, right? And we are going now to discuss what the cross is. What is it they crucified Jesus on? Okay? And who is Jesus? Now, I presented 2 videos previous on ruler. This ruler here, you know, this is the ruler. You could see anything on that there? All right. So this is a ruler. And the first, in one of the video, I explained the bridge to Lanka is the ruler. 2, Cain and Abel is ruler, inches and meters. In this topic, Jesus is name of ruler. Cross. This is the cross. Crucifixion of Jesus means construction of ruler or cross named Jesus. So try to understand that. And we're going on that now. Now when you go to Matthew 27:35, I'll read the verse. And when they had crucified him, they divided his garments among themselves, casting lots. Now when you read this, you will get 8 forms. You have to know what I was explaining from the beginning is that you have to know what these 8 forms mean. And 8 forms in this context means 8 millimeters. So you can check the 8 millimeters in one of that. Now, Matthew 27:36, and they sat down and gathered him there. So you have to know you found 5 forms in this verse. And what it means? It means 5 ashes. Now remember, ashes is each one of the stroke between the inch. So 16 ashes make 1 inch. Let's call that dust also, right? So what you have in these 2 verses is 5 ashes equals to 8. 5 ashes equals 8 millimeter. So understand that. This is what they're talking about cross here. Now let's go to Mark 15:24. And they crucified him and divided his garments, casting lots for them to see what they each should take. If you check, you'll get 8 forms, meaning 8 millimeters. Mark 15:25. Now it was the 3rd hour and they crucified him. You will get 5 forms from that verse. And the same 5 ashes equal 8 millimeters. Let's go to Luke. Luke 23:32. And 2 others also who were criminals were led with him to be executed. 10 forms you will get from this verse, meaning 10 ashes. Now, who are the criminals that they're referring to? Are inches and meters. That is what it is referring to. Luke 23:33. And when they came to the place called the skull, there they crucified him with the criminals, one on the right and one on the left. You will get 15 forms, meaning 15 millimeters. So the 10 ashes of the first verse equals 15 millimeters. Go and check that. So they're teaching you inches and meters. This is the book. I don't know where they're seeing God here, but this is it. The inches and meters. That is what I'm saying. You see? That is God, the invisible spirit. Now, we're going to John to see what is John stating about this cross and ruler construction. Now, when you go to John 19:18, they state, when they crucified him, and with him 2 others, on this side and that, and Jesus in the middle. So this makes it very clear, so we can explain it. There they crucified him. There they constructed ruler. This is what they're saying. There they crucified him. This is Jesus. There they constructed ruler. Ruler is Jesus. Now 2 men is inches and meters. On each side of Jesus, ruler in the middle. This is what inches and meters and ruler in the middle. John 19:23. The soldiers then, when they had crucified Jesus, took his garments and made 4 parts, a part for each soldier, and they took the tunic as well. But the tunic was seamless, moving from the top throughout. Constructing ruler, they divided ruler into 4 parts. Let's see how you can do the calculations. But if you divide this ruler in 4 parts, what you're getting? You're getting 3 inches and 75 millimeters. So 4 by 3 inches is 12 inches, and 4 by 75 millimeters is 300 millimeters. Now, what are they saying? That was how ruler was crucified. That is Jesus here. That is how this ruler was constructed. That is what it means. You go to John 19:31. Then the Jews, since it was the day of preparation, and so that the bodies might not remain on the cross on the Sabbath, for that Sabbath day was a great Sabbath, requested of Pilate that their legs might be broken and that they might be taken away. Bodies, meaning inches and meters. The cross equals the ruler. The Sabbath ruler was of special division. They say special day, so it was of special divisions, inches and meters. Legs broken, inches and meters broken up. John 19:32, the soldiers therefore came and broke the legs of the first man and of the other man who had been crucified with him. Soldiers broke up inches and meters. 12 inches equals to 300 millimeters. John 19:33, but coming to Jesus when they saw that he had already died, they did not break his legs. Now, how can a ruler die? You have any idea? How can you kill a ruler? So they say Jesus was dead, but I'm saying this is the ruler. So what it means is Jesus dead, it means ruler constructed. Death means construction. So it means the ruler constructed. Right? John 19:34, but one of the soldiers pierced his side with a spear, and immediately there came out blood and water. Now how are you going to get blood and water from this ruler? Do you have an idea? This is why people don't know the science involved in this, in writing this book, this Bible and Ramcharita. Let me explain to you now how I will get blood and water coming out of this ruler. Inches and meters are used to measure distance. Oh, I don't have it here. Just push that, bring that here.
This one?
Yeah. Right. Inches and meters are used to measure distance. This is the distance here. From distance, speed and time can be computed. What is the formula for distance? Speed by time. This is what it is here. Distance, speed by time. Now hear what I say. Already telling you one time from distance, inches and meters, because is a ruler you're measuring, eh?
Yeah.
This is what you're using it for measurement. To get speed and time from this is a ruler. And its distance, you're finding the formula for distance is speed by time. So what it is telling you, blood equals speed and time equals to water. You should remember that. I keep saying that water is time.
Yeah,
so you see the science here? So it's distance equal to speed by time. So they can take whoever they want. If they cannot understand how to read this thing my ancestors presented, they will be lost. So this, as I said, is gotta have believers reading this, because they can't understand that how you getting blood and water from a ruler. You understand? Part 7, chart number 66. I think that is the chart. Yeah, that is the chart there. So we have I think we completed with this here. Lavakusha Kanda. I will explain how to pinpoint time. You see, I gave how to find the time in the divisions. Now we want to find out, if you want to find a verse from a chapter here, how do you find it, and what year was that event, that event that took place, what year it is. You want to find that. So here what happening, we're going to do that here now, right? Each division is 1749 or 1750 years. Total manuscripts, remember I said the total manuscripts 49. Now if you want to know where they have 49, you go to the Bhagavad Gita. They have 3 places where they refer to them as 49 Maruts. This is what they construct in this universe. And they said so, they give the whole list of how to construct the universe from the Bhagavad Gita. Anyway, I just mentioned the 49 Maruts, right? Now, 1750 years, divided by the 49 manuscripts, you will get 35 years for each manuscript. So each division, you will get 35 years for each manuscript because you have 49 manuscripts in this division. Okay? Now we must find out location of each manuscript from Ramcharita Manasa. How do you find the location now? Where do you find it? Now, if you take, like, let's say Balakanda, I did Balakanda here. Balakanda have 250 pages. You take the 250 pages from Balakanda, you divide it by the 49 manuscripts, you will get 5 pages each for each manuscript. So you see, in the 35 years, each 35 years, you will get 5 pages each for at 35 years. So depending on if you let's say we had 1750 years here, and let's say we want a manuscript somewhere in page 100, you take the 35 and you add it, so that might be about 335 years, so it will be 105, so it will be 1800 and roughly 1800 years. So you will get, when each part there, division, you will find how to find the events and the time. So this is what I'm saying. These people reading this book and they can't present a time of nothing. I don't know what they're reading. You understand? So from this analysis, each manuscript can be pinpointed at 35 years. So this is a clear indication of how to find the exact time of these events. All right? Now, ashes and millimeters in Lavakusha Kanda, they have it very clear. Each verse that you're checking is divided in 2 parts. You must see a full stop. And once you see that, you know one is millimeters and one is inches. So I'll just refer to 2 verses here. Page 830, verse 4. It talks about 15 forms, which is 15 centimeters. And that is equal to 150 millimeters. You will see 6 forms, which means 6 inches. You go to page 838, verse 3. It talks about 10 centimeters. It also talks about 100 arrows. 100 arrows is equal to 100 millimeters. They talk about 2 stout champions is 200 millimeters. And they have 8 forms, which 8 forms equal to 200 millimeters. Dumb Gadaha believers entered into kingdom of wise Hindus. They cannot find their way inside. They are lost. All right? So I have a small summary here. And I base it on dumb Gadaha believers. This summary is directed at pastors and pundits. These dumb Gadaha believers are entrusted by people to be qualified to teach our children from these books and the Bible. I will present a few points as proof of their foolish teachings. I'll do it from the Bible. All right? Now, chart number 66. I will use the same chart. All right? If you go to Matthew 4:18-22, it tells you the first 4 disciples are called. Anybody know what they're talking about? Well, let me tell you what they're talking about. You will see 4 here, pi. 4 zeros there. These are the 4 disciples. Right? This is pi, 4 zeros. 2, Matthew 10:1-5. Jesus appoints 12 disciples. Now, if you add 4 and 12, we'll get 16 disciples. Equals to kingdom, equals to universe. This is construction of God. How you getting the 12 disciples? 7 and 3 is 10, and the 2 here, universe and Ram, that makes it 12. So there where they're telling you, quite frankly, you must have knowledge on forms, right? Now, when you go in Matthew 1:18, Mary found to be with child through Holy Spirit. What does it mean? Anybody know? Anybody? They talk about this Holy Spirit all the time. Now look at the Holy Spirit right here. Found to be with child with Holy Spirit. That is infinite numbers. It's telling you that in the Ramcharita Manasa. And 16 numbers constructed from universe is whole. So this 16 numbers constructed from the universe, 7 parts, is the Holy Spirit. So Mary found to be with child with true Holy Spirit. The child there now is what they constructed. Okay? Word. For if you go to John 1:1 and talk about in the beginning was God, the Word, and the Word was God, and whatever. The Word, to know what the Word is, they don't tell you in the Bible. To know what the Word is, you have to go to the Ramcharitamanas. And this is what the Word is. Ramcharitamanas. 16 forms, 16 letters. My ancestors constructed Bible and Ramcharitamanas. Dumb Gadaha believers have no knowledge on books. I think I'll follow up with that there, and we can have any discussion on this.
Okay. Before we go into that, I remember you was talking before we started the program, when we talk and have a little discussion, you was telling me about a video. So
right, okay.
Before we forget about it.
Well, it just came up on my phone, and this video is a video of the same thing. And if you watch the video well, you will see the 8 divisions in the stones.
Yeah.
If you watch, you will see and you will see Shiva or any other god on top there. That is here. So it is the same creation explained in the reliefs or what they constructed or designed there.
Okay. Well, the name of the video for the viewers is this temple could rewrite history. Hoi Saleswara. Right? So on YouTube, it's a 47-minute video where an Australian guy, he goes across, he explores the temple complex and he shows the different pillars. And one thing I noticed when you talk about how it shows the 8 divisions, the carvings that go horizontally show different inventions too.
Yes, this is what they're doing. This is your events and whatnot of that time. They're relating it to that. There's a whole building right around with the 8 separations, you know.
Yeah. So in the pillar itself, like how I didn't notice that watching it because I was watching the whole thing. What I mean is like what he pointed out.
Yeah.
So in each pillar, like say if they reach the 4th division, he was showing. I can't remember which division.
They have elephants, they have tigers.
Yeah. But in between, they're showing medical inventions or they're showing
this is
procedures.
how the scriptures were constructed. This is why I said between, they're telling you what they are constructing.
Yeah.
You see, and this is what I'm saying. The first thing, as you made the mention, that the first thing they want to act, cricket, you know, they have no knowledge. The person is doing a research and telling you what he is finding. The people visiting there, the tour guide have no knowledge of it, pundits have no knowledge of it, but he is making his observation clear.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the knowledge on it neither, but he's making his observation and telling you quite frankly that this was long before the Christians knew about candle.
Yeah.
So this is what I keep saying. They were dumb people by 1st century, and the pundits and the philosophers or scholars can't seem to, and the temple there, nobody can go and experiment and find out because they have no knowledge of the creation. And if you check carefully, one picture you'll see on the television there right through, you will see Brahma sitting on the lotus flowers.
Yeah.
He's sitting on this lotus flower. Lotus flower means lotus flower means numbers. You will see lotus feet. That is numbers. You will see lotus leaves. This is the letters. So this on top here now is Brahma, and Brahma must have 6 heads. I explained that in a video previously. That it is 6 heads. So Rama with 6 heads. This is the 6 you get in here. That is what he's talking about. So people must understand that. So they have no knowledge on the creation, and Brahma is God. That alone tell you, Ram is God. They have it with Ram, they have it with Shiva, they have it with everybody, and so they keep coming. And you understanding, I don't have it here written, but I have it in many other things. Where the 3 gunas are coming, you must present 3 words with 16 letters. And in those 3 words, you will see Shiva, Brahma, and you will see it in the Bible too, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and them coming on. So this is how they create the other gods. Okay?
Yeah. The other point I want to make, which is that in this episode, you're showing exactly the page numbers and the verse and stuff like that. So the information here is that you're encouraging people to pick up the book.
Yeah.
And read it.
Yeah, because I can't go to give that in detail, because one part alone I will have to take an hour.
Yeah, because they have a lot, like some of the examples I was giving, you had many in the pages. But so for the people who trying to figure out or waiting for the explanation to show is you need to go and read the book, because I think this stuff with the Ramayana that it presented was in the first 40 verses you said.
Yeah, they have the
Ramcharitamanas.
The Ramcharitamanas, the 40 pages I referred to are on the topic of entity.
Okay.
To understand entity. Nobody seems to have knowledge on entity, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. The Christians took it from the same book and present his definition.
Mm-hmm.
The pundits reading this, historians reading this, they haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I say they're sleeping. Yeah. Now, a little point I want to make here, in Balakanda, you will get at 35 years in each 5 pages. But if you go to Ayodhya Kanda, you will get it in 2.3 pages. Aranya Kanda, you will get it in 1 page. And so you, in every one, it is different.
You mean 35 years of history? Like what,
no. This is 35 years in the separation of this division. In other words, what you have here is the 49 manuscripts are divided into 35 years each.
Okay.
Right, because 1750 years in each division. So you divide that by 49, you will get the 35 years. Now, to find which page, which topic you're taking from that division, if it's Uttarakanda, you in 2.2 pages you will get at 35 years. So if depending on which 35 years you're speaking of, you just look at the two pages.
Yeah,
you'll get that information.
Yeah, so you mean like well, from 0 year to 14,000 years in between, you have a date. You know, based on the page.
Try to understand. Is that division of 1750 years in each division,
Right.
Each division. Now, I just keep adding up to the 14,000 years because that is the timeline. Right. But each one is 17. So you have, they already... From the description I mentioned that you will get 49 manuscripts when you circle 7 times and 7 times. You will get 49 manuscripts. So you divide in the 1750 years by 49, you will get 35 years.
Okay.
Right. Now, if you want to pinpoint whichever part of the Bible of the Ramcharitamanas you want to be on that chapter now, when you will just have to add whether it's 100 years or 500 years to get what that verse means.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing, if you're on the first verse of the Ramcharitamanas in this division, which means Ayodhya Kanda, you'll be dealing with 35 years. But if you're on the second, you will be dealing with 70 years. So you come 1750 plus 70.
Yeah.
That giving you the exact time of that 35 years.
Okay.
You see, and in this case, Balakanda is 5 pages. Well, if you try to go through it, you will understand it.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to clarify is that based on the research here, there's no God in the way that people believe God to be.
But this
in the scripture.
You use a very good word there, believe.
Right.
And pundits continue to teach people to believe. Like if he does not understand a dictionary.
Yeah.
Go in a dictionary and see, it said, you are not sure. Why are you telling people to believe and you're not sure?
Yeah.
And you tell the person is not sure to, he believe, and I believe, I'm a believer, This is why I said, dumb gotta have believers.
Yeah.
Because they're so stupid with that word. You cannot, you don't have any locus standi or any basis to use the word belief if you know what it is.
Right.
Only time you use the word belief, you're not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not sure, I believe so, boy, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we could accept that. But if you are sure, why are you using the word believe? So you're telling everybody believe you have a God up in the sky. You are not sure, the person is not sure, but yes, you have to believe to make me a fool too. You see?
Yeah.
Many people are killing. So you want to make me a fool. The pundit want to make we children a fool. I keep mentioning it. I see the pundit still using it. You have to believe. He following the stupid Christians to believe too. Yeah.
The one with the smoke equal distance, water equal time, fire is pi. You have a specific point that occurs in the books or is throughout the books?
No, throughout. And you see, this may be one synonym. Numerous synonyms is used to refer to them thing, you know. You understand? Let's say, for instance, what we use here as speed. You use this as speed. Air. You observe in the last part there I use blood.
Yeah.
And speed. So this is why they cannot be grounded, because they do not know it's synonym. This is how Sanskrit was created.
Yeah.
The numerous synonyms. So you have to trace and keep tracing to find the actual meaning.
Yeah. I heard somebody say that's why Sanskrit is so difficult to learn as a language, because they have a lot of synonyms.
Yeah, numerous synonyms.
Yeah.
So this is a good example to understand. They present the 5 parts of the universe.
Yeah.
And that now you have to analyze what it means. Because it already given you the pi, distance, time, speed. And this is the 5 parts here. You understand? So you have to know.
Yeah.
You understand?
I was asked Swami, I wouldn't call any names, but they say that it's a simple language to learn, but it's hard to understand because of the amount of
numerous. This is why the language is like the greatest language. And if you could I don't understand, I haven't studied Sanskrit, but what I'm saying, you can judge by the number of synonyms they use, and this was their practice. So if you don't have that vocabulary and synonyms, you cannot understand what they're talking about. You see?
Now we have some now one more here. But so back to the topic of God, is so the idea of God itself as being is an invention by itself. In the whole...
It is science. It is mathematics. He's telling you that is God. Remember, I keep telling you that?
Yeah.
This is mathematics here. This here telling you 1,000 trillion. Either meters or ashes or millimeters. And it's telling you the letters. You understand? What 16 letters are? He's telling you the 7 states. So all of these things, these are formula, numbers and letters.
Yeah.
That is God.
Yeah.
This is the tricky God, you know, Father, Son and Holy Ghost, you know. Yeah. And if they refer to I forget the 3 names they have in the Rampersad Manasa. But you have to know that, and it is this now is for people to let them come and tell me that is not God. You understand? You constructing the universe.
Yeah.
This is God, right? God with the name universe.
Okay.
Yeah. So let them absorb that and go around teaching people. My Hindu ancestors make fool of the world, and particularly Christians. And the pundit say he doesn't know what he's reading. Yeah, learn to read your book, study your book well, and this is God. And what may it make the statement very clear in the Rampersad Manasa and the Bible. Look at the place where in the other parts where the universe was mentioned in 2 verses.
Yeah.
And it have formulas. It's telling you it's a formula. It's telling you it's letters. It tell you to look. I have infinite numbers. I think this is the verse that telling you infinite numbers here. You understand? What does that mean? Infinite means you could go to any value. You understand? So they have it there. I don't know what people reading. You looking for a God, an invisible God, and he coming to help you and fooling with children. I don't know what is pundits and them. If they can't read the book, leave the book alone. Find your own book or make your own God. The God here is universe. That is all.
Yeah. They have all right, so we have some replies or some comments we get on social media. So before we close off, if you could just run through, and probably these people, they might be watching the program, but most likely they're waiting to see it on social media.
All right.
But the first one is, well, what is the name of the Bible that you refer to? Because I heard you say it once. I don't know too much about Bible, that they have different versions. So the Bible, the version that you reference most is which
Well,
version?
listen carefully. First, you have to understand Bible.
Right.
The word Bible is not written in the Bible. So that is made up by these Christian goons. Number one, they have the name for the Bible written in the Bible. Revelation 11:15. What it states? It is the kingdom of our Lord and His Christ. That's the name of the book.
Okay.
Right? And that is 16 forms. So kingdom of our Lord and His Christ, that it was the name of the Bible. People, they don't have no knowledge on that, so they can't know that is the book.
Okay.
You understand? So Bible itself, they must know where the origin of it. And the origin was made by 24 Hindus called the elders, and many places in Revelation it's stated that.
Yeah, well,
Right?
that's the next question,
Yeah.
which is two people ask. They want to know where the evidence is in the Bible of the 24 scholars. I'll just give you a short
No,
form.
they have it. And if you go to end of Romans, they give you the names. And you go to, I think it's First Chronicles or Kings, they also have the 24 Hindus and their families listed.
Right, so
Yeah.
because that was one of the exact questions. They want to know the names and where it's located in the Bible.
Right.
The 24.
End of Revelation, you will see 24 names.
Right.
Those are the 24 Hindus. I think it's in Kings, First Kings. They have 24 names at the end of the chapter, so it's not difficult to find, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So you will see, and they put their family's name there too. So it amounts to about 90.
Right.
Right. So these are so they have. This is how. And you have to understand clearly that the Hindus are telling to the Christians who they give this book is to Vespasian and the Romans.
Right.
These are your gods, built from wood and stone. So the Christian read in Bible, they know that the Hindus made a god for them with wood and stone. So so we reading and reading. This is, and let me tell you something. Many places in the Bible it says 62 CE. Many places. I made reference on many occasions when you want to know the date. And then I just made this statement today too. From 62 to 76 CE is 14 years. That they refer to as 14 generations. You see? So they have it right throughout the Bible. In Maccabees, the 62 CE.
Right.
That is to swing over from Siddhantic calendar to the CE calendar. So all of these things they must know. You see, this is the calendar coming on here, you know. This is the calendar here, and you're switching over at 2000 what we would call let me see if I could get the years here. Around it will be 13,500 years. So from here now you're switching over to the CE calendar. You see, so people must they're talking, they don't know where CE calendar come from. If you listen to this character, he said they did not know what a scandal when they made they made that those are reliefs in or those so you can understand that a person is saying that. No, that he, as you said, when you look in carefully, the Hindu he just dumb, you know. He don't. If somebody from outside has to come and teach we what we have there, you know.
Yeah.
And he's explaining it very well. You see. So what we are saying here is how to understand time. And if you don't have time, you have nothing. You cannot be talking about a whole book here with about 1,000 pages, and you don't have a date to present. What does it mean?
Yeah.
What does it mean? You have a Bible about 1,000 pages too.
Yeah.
You don't have a date. They have this man called Jesus, yes, they have him, and they crucify him, yes. What day he born? Do you know? Yeah, well, he born on 25th of December. Well, show me in the Bible. You understand? It's not in the Bible. They have no knowledge on their dates at all. So you have two dummies here, which I call the Garaha.
Yeah.
Dumb Garaha believers. I'm not taking that back at all, because you have to, and the whole world are corrupted by teaching them this rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said first, Hindus and Christians who want to know this book, just follow that. Come and condemn what I am saying. Tell me that I am wrong, right? You just listen to this pundit, and once he jumping he jumping from heaven to heaven. What he know about that? You understand? The next one you ask him, where is this heaven? He watch up in the sky and heaven's up there. This is what you have done. Heavens is God, you know.
Yeah.
Heavens, earth, this is the universe. That is God. So you have to understand that very clearly, how to pick these synonyms and to identify from the forms what they are speaking about. It's built on stone.
Yeah.
Stone is forms. So you have to find the stone wherever it is, and what does it mean?
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that there, because two separate people comment. One have no name, so I think is like a fake profile or something. And the other one was somebody who's saying that the Bible clearly condemns worshipping of idols, which is form, we could say.
Yeah.
And so they say, well, these two people saying that the Bible clearly condemns idol worship. But what you just say here is that the forms represent something.
The forms is a stone, and there he built the God of stone and wood for them, the Christians.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says numerous verses, you know. I present about 4 or 5 verses there.
Right.
But the numerous verses throughout, they continue. There I built your God from wood and stone. This is where you have to find the synonym to match that. And since wood and stone mean forms, the whole Bible was constructed on forms.
Yeah.
From page 1 down to the end.
Yeah.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. 4 forms, one time. I'm telling you, that's the 4 disciples. One time, beginning.
Right.
And you take the second verse, you're getting 12 forms. So from the beginning, that is 16 forms. So heaven and earth, universe, was built on 16 forms. One time, that is. Because if you don't know that, you looking up in the sky still and looking down in the ground. So all of these believers, they're trying to fool my people to believe. And the pundits taking things from the Christian, blessed and all this stupidness from them, like if them know what they're saying. He's stupid and the next one's stupid. So you end up with stupid people right through. And you're thinking that they're educated. I don't know why they can't seem to comprehend this scriptures. You understand? Get dates. Look, they have half an hour here too. Find out what the 16 and a half hours. Look at in the Bible. They give you exact time, you know. 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours. But this Rampersad Manasa do the same thing. I present it.
Yeah.
So I want them to know that when you're speaking of anything there, find the time, the exact time, and then relate your story. You're telling a kata, that is history. Find the pages, 5 pages or 2 pages, refer to that, you read that, and you get an exact time. Let me see if they can do that.
Yeah.
So,
Alright, well that's it for the questions from the... Some was just comments and... But the comments show that some people, they don't understand, because one here is that, for example, they ask, who is the first person that Ram created? And then somebody reply, who is the first person Jesus created? But what
Same thing. Let me explain again. Ram here, see Ram here, is the entity.
Yeah.
Ram, the 3 gunas now, is the member of that entity.
Right.
So Ram is constructing the entity Ram. The same thing, I have the Christ written on it there. Ram, the 3 gunas is Christ too. And he's constructing the entity Christ, which is God.
Yeah.
So this, you have to understand that. And the member, the entity is always greater than the member. And this is business now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have an entity, and you are the owner of the entity, but you are a member of that entity also. I wonder if you get it.
Yeah,
this is what it means.
Yeah,
that is exactly what it means.
You create an organization or a company or anything, but you work for the organization.
You work like you're a member.
Yeah.
You're not the entity, you know.
Yeah.
The entity is the name. You have to must have the name.
It don't even matter if the business name after you.
Yeah, doesn't matter. That have nothing to do with it. That is a separate person completely. This is and listen. We have 40 pages explaining that here.
Yeah.
Nobody seems to have any knowledge. They come and they take it and they pass it back for you. Yeah. Them make that. You're so stupid. I don't know where these people and them they get them. Who entrusted them to read this book? And it's thousands of years this thing going on, you know.
Yeah.
When will that stop? And you're only fooling with children. Making the children fool. They go outside to say, I keep saying that. Man has 7 heads, 10 heads and all kind of things. Can't you relate that? Just yesterday I was talking to a person, but did you hear Rama shoot a arrow and he killed 25 men? Well, yes, you see, long ago, you have to have faith, you know. I say you could do whatever you want. You can't kill 25 men. What they're telling you is 1 inch equals to 25 millimeters. So, yeah, it's simple like that. And it teaching you, in the first time I explained that in this video here, very, very clear. I don't know. It's even better than the English book that they have it in. And the pundits and them like, them still shooting arrows and killing me. But these people, I don't know how these Hindus listening to this pundit, teaching this rubbish. Yeah. I must make it very clear. I'm here, I listen to them all the time. I'm trying to find out if they can extract, okay, for instance, one pundit at one time talk about ha, hu, and tumburu. These are the three, explain. These are the three, this is 1, 0 for pi, and from pi, you create 3 men. Ha, hu, and tumburu. I expect him to go in there and then say, well, yes, this is really the pi formula. Yeah, and another, he said, Hindus, they teach me to believe, so we must believe, and we believe in reincarnation. So the birth and death here, I just explained it. You have 3 births, and you have what we would call birth, sacrifice or crucifixion, and then death. That you have 8 coming down, 8 of that coming down. You understand? So that is repeated in this book. Yeah. It repeated it, and so he making an elephant head and putting it in a dead child. This is what it means. You understand? As a matter of fact, as we hear, it had a part there, but I remove it. I continue to explain this. I move it. All right. I always explaining this is 54 forms. That were coming along. 54 forms, to get 54 forms is the 49 manuscripts, you know, plus the 5 parts of the universe that they're coming down with. Yeah. That makes 54. Now, when you leave Satya Yuga and Treta Yuga, you live in 2 yugas here. You come into Dwapara Yuga. You're now entering into the Vedi. This is the Vedi here. You understand? And you will end, this is what you're getting. What is it? First resurrection, first death, first crucifixion. You come on the Vedi here now. You're getting the same thing. A second resurrection, second crucifixion, second death. You come now on you're on the Vedi here. You come on the this I think is this is the heavens here now. You're getting a third resurrection, third crucifixion, and a third death. The third death occurs on the third Vedi and on fourth heaven, Kali Yuga. Then you come back, you get fourth resurrection, fourth crucifixion, and fourth death. This is what, and this you are repeating that in this book right through. Yeah. And you're going through now the 8 divisions that I explained. That's what you're going through, you know. Now this part here, what I'm talking about is only after 12,000 years. This is only after 12,000 years. I don't know if like 12,000 years there. So this is after 12,000 years you're doing this. Now for Bible now the times will change now. So that is another explanation to show you how it works. So they're having difficulty understanding, and they're doing that on the Vedi all the time. Yeah. And I don't know if there's 3 knobs or 3 whatever it is. The 3 gunas that they're throwing into the Look, these people reading this book so long. And I keep trying to find out what is it these people, and from the Ramcharita Manasa. Do not say that. You have no knowledge on that. Get some other book, some story book, where they make up for going to Madhushala and discuss them things. This is not for we children to discuss. Get your knowledge on this and teach my people the right thing. Because as far as I see, you're only trying to make my children or my ancestors fools.
Yeah.
And you can't go outside and argue your point because you ain't know nothing about that. The Christian that pick up the stupidness there, he arguing right through. He take it from there and he come in and arguing. You can't say anything. And you in support there, they have a Jesus. If I tell you something, these people really something very, very clumsy. People must look at them. And they must look at themselves. What are they reading? Do they make sense? They don't. You mean they themselves don't know it is nonsensical? They're presenting some nonsensical statements. Yeah? Well, have sense, man. You're teaching children coming in here, man, there. You have people studying coming there. You can't make sense of this and you trying to fool them.
Yeah.
They call you Babaji or Panditji or whatever. Have some knowledge on this subject, man. And as a matter of fact, I put it down, the three, I put down where you have to have the three subjects coming down,
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I don't know if you saw it there. I had it on the in the first thing there. So when they declared that the 7 sages and the 3 gunas, which is 10. That is how they have it. Okay?
Yeah.